Hey guys, what's good? It's JJJBoxing here, power up here, with a video. Now, I want to talk about the Fundora versus Ocampo. I forget if it's an A or an O. But, I'm going to be talking about that fight card. And it was pretty good fights, I'm not going to lie. Pretty good fights. And, sorry, I got gas here. Ate a bunch of Pizza Hut and a glass of milk. But, yeah, good fights. I'm just really disappointed that I missed my boy Egis. I'll just say Egis Kavalauskas. I don't know how to say his first name perfectly. Egis Kavalauskas versus Mikel Fox. And, yeah, I missed this fight. I guess it wasn't on the main fight card. Was it televised on TV, guys? Let me know, because I know in Canada on TSN. I think it started with the Fernando Martinez versus Cajas. But I really wanted to see my boy Kavalauskas, because I'm obviously a fellow Lithuanian heritage. I gotta support my boy. And East European blood right here, you know? European pride right here. But, yeah, like, other than the fact that he's Lithuanian, like, I wouldn't root for him if I didn't like his style either, but I do like his style. He's a really strong fighter, and his body looks like he's juicing, to be honest. He looks like the perfect body. Like, you should see this man. He looks ripped, like defined, and he looks strong as fuck. When you look at Kavalauskas, he looks unbeatable. His body, he has that perfect body, like an Anthony Joshua kind of. Like, he don't look like he can lose, right? But you can't always go by looks. But he obviously is strong though, but he's not invincible, as we've seen in the Ortiz and Crawford fights. Both in my opinion, top fighters in the division. So, like, it's not like he lost to bums. He lost to the best of the best. Ortiz is one of the best, and Crawford's one of the best. But, yeah, so I missed that fight, and I can't find anyone who's posting highlights on YouTube yet. I guess I'll have to wait a bit longer, because I couldn't find any. Like, all the highlight videos I click on, it's just people with their post-fight, and they just trick you. They clickbait into thinking, and you think it's the actual fight, but it's not. But... yeah, so all I know is, like, he did have his way with Fox, and he dropped him a couple times, hurt him. But it did go the whole 10 rounds. It was a 10-rounder. But apparently what I've seen, he dominated, and that's what I pretty much expected. I didn't know much about Fox, to be honest. I know he lost a couple times, and he lacked power. So that was enough for me to say he didn't have a chance against Kavalauskas. Just because he didn't have the power to keep him off, and it's not like he doesn't have the skills of like a Devin Haney or a Shakur. Like, maybe they don't have like crazy power, those guys, but a Fox doesn't have the skills as those guys. So when you don't have the skill, like if you don't have the highest level of skill, then you can't get away with not having good power. And I just feel like on paper, he had like 3 losses, I think, Fox, going into this fight, and he didn't have much power, and that made me think. My initial impression was he's not gonna. On paper, he wasn't gonna beat Kavalauskas, and Kavalauskas was probably gonna knock him out or hurt him like he did and dropped him a couple times. It was gonna be that scenario. But yeah, like going into the fight, like I said, I never really watched Fox, so I didn't have a legitimate opinion on the fight. I was just going on what I've seen. I've seen a lot of Kavalauskas, and I've seen the record of Fox and his lack of power, his KO percentage, and that's my initial thoughts. But anyway, guys, I missed the fight. Let me know if you find highlights of the fight. If you found them, post it in the comments for me so I can watch it. But for some reason TSN didn't have it on the main card. It started off with the Martinez versus Filipino guy, And yeah, so I missed that one. But I did start watching the fight, the main, like the televised, what TSN put on anyway, the main card. So the Fernando, not Vargas, Fernando Martinez versus Ncajas it was a very good fight for the IBF Junior Bantamweight title. Just a fight that really the human brain should not be taking that type of punishment. It's not your brain is not designed to take this to take hits like this, like for the duration these guys are taking hits. It's very dangerous, and that's why boxing is way more dangerous than UFC. UFC, you end it with like one crack. The fight usually ends quicker in the UFC, and they're not landing as many strikes. Like one shot, you're like it's actually safer to get knocked out with one shot than it is a sustained beating throughout the whole fight, and that's why boxing is more dangerous. But yeah, this fight was rough. I missed a couple rounds, so I wasn't really scoring it, but it looked like Martinez was like having his way with Ncajas. Ncajas had some moments, but it looked like he was getting the short end of the stick anyway. Good fight though. Like I said, I wasn't really judging it, and I was on the phone at the same time, so I wasn't like focused on judging it. So maybe I didn't miss some of the work that Ncajas was doing, because to me it looked like Martinez was having his way with it most of the fight when I was focusing. But it was still a good effort by both men. Like the Filipinos are tough, hardworking people. Like they always give a good fight. Just like the Mexicans they're always tough. The Japanese fighters are tough. These fighters just are they got heart. That's what I'm saying. They got heart. And it was no different with Ncajas. He was getting, like I said, he was losing the fight, but he was still trying. Yeah. So the next fight was Carlos Adames versus Montiel, and I think I've seen these guys a couple times. It's hard to remember like all the fighters and all the fights that we see, but obviously they're ranked pretty high. It was for the vacant WBC interim middleweight title, and I think Montiel he fought Charlo, I think, right? And did he get stopped against Charlo? I don't know if he got stopped against Charlo, but he lost to Charlo, and I think he lost to Munguia. But I think I remember seeing that fight. He got knocked out by Munguia. And but yeah, Carlos Adames was putting it on this man. Like he looked like. I don't know if you guys watched the YouTuber card. Like I didn't really watch it, but I seen highlights of the KSI versus like 3 different men. And remember when he fought that Mexican tall guy? That looked like he was just like a Twitch streamer. Didn't look like he ever got off the couch. Like really skinny, lanky Mexican kid. Kept on complaining that KSI was hitting him on his like back of his head. The whole card was a joke. KSI should be embarrassed for even participating in that. But anyway, I should have made a video on that, but it was a disgrace to boxing. But anyway, this Montiel kind of looks like that kid that KSI fought, but he's obviously this guy. Like Montiel's a real professional, but still the body type. It looks like Montiel's not working out like enough, to be honest. I don't know if that's his natural body type. Maybe he is doing weights, he's doing strength training, his body just doesn't put on muscle in definition like that. Or maybe he's just not working out hard enough, I don't know. But he kind of reminded me of that kid that KSI fought, just a better version, Montiel. But he pretty much, he never got going, Montiel, until it was too late, and then he got wrecked. Like Adames landed heavy shots. Like it was a matter of time before he got knocked out cold. So some people were saying, oh, it was an early stoppage. I don't think it was early at all. He was taking a vicious beating, and it's just not good for a guy to take that type of punishment to the brain. So good stoppage there. I'd like to see what is it? Him versus Charlo, I guess. Is that who he would fight? Let me just look up Montiel. Boxer. I want to just see his record here. Okay. Yeah, so he lost decision to Charlo. Okay. But he KO'd James Kirkland. Pretty much everyone KOs Kirkland now, I guess. I didn't know Kirkland still fights. But, okay. Who did Adamas lose to? He lost to Patrick Teixeira. Okay. Alright. But, okay, this guy's on a winning streak, though, this Adamas guy. And he lost only by decision to Teixeira. I don't know if I've seen that fight a couple years ago. But, okay, so he beat Sergey Derevyanchenko. Okay. I remember he gave Golovkin a decent fight. Okay. All right, so yeah, this man's deserves a shot at, I guess. Who's it? I guess Charlo or any of the top fighters, I guess, at that in the division, the middleweight division. Yeah, I don't know why BoxRec doesn't have Charlo listed here. Okay. Anyway, back to the fight. Yeah, sorry for the kind of dead air here, guys. Okay, yeah, so yeah, he looked good. I'm not gonna lie, he looked good. But is Montiel in anything that great? I don't think so. Really, he didn't look like he was that great, to be honest. He doesn't look like he works out really, but like I said, maybe that's his body type. I don't know. He just doesn't look like a top level athlete should, right? And then we had oh yeah, we had Fundora's sister fight earlier in the day. I missed that one, but she got the W. I like that family though. I like the Fundoras. They look like friendly, respectful people. You know, they look. I like Sebastian Fundora. They just look. They look like they got raised by good parents. Just the way they carry themselves, very respectful, smiling, just good energy you get from them. You know, Sebastian and his family. But yeah, so we go on to the main event: Sebastian Fundora versus Carlos Ocampo. Now, I thought Sebastian was 6'3", but he's 6'5". I forgot he was that tall. And I remember though, he's the kind of guy that you're like, okay, this guy is like, he's gonna be way too like when he first came on the scene, I thought he was too tall for the division because I thought he would be too skinny, too frail and weak, and they would just like go to his body and like the body shots would just wreck the guy because he's just too lanky and skinny. And boy am I wrong, because he's tough. And it's kind of weird because like when you think of a guy that with an 80-inch reach and like 6'5" for 154 pounds, or any division, to be honest, he could be a heavyweight and have 80-inch reach. And like this man, you would think would want to use that reach, and you think his style would be tailored towards a distance style. Like he would want to keep on the outside and keep you at a distance with his long arms. But this man, I remember in his other fights, he likes a firefight. He likes to fight inside. And I never really, like, I was just shocked by how well this guy fights inside fighting for how long he is. Like, you think he wouldn't get, enough leverage and his arms are too long to kind of fight good inside? Because that's usually the case. Shorter fighters fight better inside, usually, just because their arms don't need to go back as far, right? They can, I don't know, that's just what I thought, right? The mechanics of the body, the shorter arms would be better on the inside, but this man proves that theory wrong because, like, he fights so good inside. In this fight, it was funny because he started fighting like the way you would think he should fight. He was using the jab, he was staying on the outside, and I'm like, okay, he's actually using what you would think he would supposed to do with his size. And it actually wasn't even that effective, to be honest. Like, he was flicking out the jab, landing some jabs, but he really wasn't landing anything damaging. And he was losing rounds, in my opinion, to Ocampo. until he decided, you know what, I'm going to go back to what I usually do and fight inside and make it a firefight. And then he started doing heavy damage and winning the fight. So it's just funny how a guy that tall and lanky is not as good at fighting on the outside as he is at fighting on the inside. And as soon as he started fighting on the inside, like his regular style, what I'm known for seeing him do, he started breaking down Ocampo, and you could tell Ocampo was slowing down from the body shots. And it's just funny how the taller guy, who's 6'5" and 80-inch reach, is going to the body, and the other guy is going to the head more. That's kind of strange, but this man, Sebastian Fundora, is like, he's something special for what he's doing with his size and his style. It's unique. I've never seen a fighter this lanky fight like him. The fact that he's such a good inside fighter, and he's tough. You would think his body would be weak because he's so skinny and lanky, but that's not the case. Ocampo stopped 9 guys with body shots, I heard. So, like, this man wasn't like a weak body puncher, and Sebastian took it with ease. If anything, Ocampo was getting breaking down with body shots. And then towards the end of the fight, Sebastian started using the distance again for the last 2 rounds, I think. And yeah, there was a point in the fight where Sebastian could have maybe got the finish, but I think Ocampo's chin is so good. Spence was the only one to stop him, and it was with a body shot. So I feel like it's hard to stop this guy with a headshot. And Fundora actually said that in the post-fight interview. He said that, thinking to himself that if Spence was only able to stop him with a body shot, I think I'll use that. And he said as the fight was going on, he kind of sensed that he wasn't going to stop this guy with a headshot, so he started using the left uppercut to the body because he's southpaw, so the power uppercut to the body. And it was landing very well. There was points in the fight where it looked like he could have stopped Ocampo with a headshot as well. Like, he landed a couple straight lefts that really buckled Ocampo to the point where he kind of just he froze for a second, like he didn't know where he was. And it looked like maybe he was badly hurt, but then he recovered very quickly. So the chin of Ocampo is just pretty good, I would say. But yeah, I would say Sebastian landed damaging shots on him that could have got a lot of fighters out of there, but not this guy. And like I said, Spence was the only one to get him out of there, and it was with a body shot. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from Sebastian, to be honest. I think good things will come from him. I think he's still young. What is he, 20-something, 24? So I'm expecting good things from him. And I like I said, I like his energy. He seems like he was raised by good parents, just positive energy, respectful, smiling. You can just sense it from his demeanor that he's a very just respectful guy, you know what I mean? And he fights with heart, so yeah, he is he is 24. And I like his nickname, the Towering Inferno, because he is a tower and he is an inferno. He doesn't fight like a lanky fighter. He fights like he's a stocky 5'5" guy for the division. You know what I mean? Definitely Inferno. I want to see him fight Charlo. Let's go, Jermel. If you have the balls to step up, the Charlo's times are running out, and Sebastian will relieve him of his belts. Team Sebastian right here. Let's go. Charlos, I think, are getting to the tail end of they're in their prime right now, but they are getting older, 32 years old, so Sebastian has way more time to improve, but I think he could be ready right now if they want to fight. I think he's definitely ready. But the longer you wait, just like with Canelo, the longer you wait for Benavidez, it's going to be harder for you to beat him. So, same with Sebastian. The more you wait, Charlo, he's just going to get better. So, you might as well fight him now. So, yeah, great fights. I got to go back and watch. Like I said, I couldn't find the Kavalauskas fight. I missed that one. But I like what I see from this Sebastian Fundora. I was a bit concerned when he fought Lubin. It looked like he might. It looked like he was going to lose that fight. I remember at a point where he got really badly hurt, didn't he? And he got dropped, I think. Yeah, it was round 7 box ready. Because I remember, I'm like, and I was thinking to myself, because initially I thought when this guy came on the scene, I thought he was too lanky, and I thought someone would put him out just because he looks too skinny, and like usually when you're too skinny and lanky, the body would be susceptible, and he just doesn't give that a, like, fighters that skinny don't look like, they look like they can be hurt, but he proved me wrong because he went down, but he came back and knocked out Lubin, so he's been tested, and he's legitimately a strong kid for even though he's super skinny, he is strong. So I can't what do you call it, think that anymore. He's definitely not weak. But yeah, so I definitely think he's improving. He's got decent power and leverage in his shots, 80-inch reach, 6'5.5", 24 years old. He's a southpaw. This man is 20-0, 13 knockouts. Yeah, this guy's a threat. This guy is definitely a threat. So let me know what you guys think, though, of Fundora and Kavalaskis, Martinez, and what's his name? Adamas. Let me think of what you thought of those fights and the winners and the losers. What do you think about them? Can they bounce back? And oh yeah, Ocampo, he put up a decent effort. He was winning rounds. Definitely was close for the first half of the fight. Then, like I said, when Sebastian started really fighting the way he usually does on the inside, he started winning the rounds and getting the better of Ocampo. But Ocampo is a man that has tremendous heart. He never gave up. And you can see why he only lost to Spence up to that point. You can actually see it. This guy's tough. So he's now in line, Fundora, for Charlo. So I'm going with Fundora to beat Charlo. Let's go. But great night of fights, guys. And it was free, like it should be. I don't like how they're making all these fights pay-per-view these days. Like Tank versus Rolly. Why is that pay-per-view? That's garbage. It makes no sense to me. The Wilder versus Hellenius, that's pay-per-view, I'm hearing. Like, come on, that's not pay-per-view. They just make every fight pay-per-view these days. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But anyway, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, guys, looking forward to more Fundora. Becoming one of my favorites for sure. Just like what I've been seeing from in the ring. And like I said, outside the ring, he looks very respectful from what I've seen. Just positive energy guy, smiles. Kind of reminds me of Pacquiao, how he would smile with his ring walk and all that. He's very, like, just positive, right? But yeah, good fights, guys. And this JJJBoxing punching out, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.